A mega drought in the West becoming a massive problem.
Refugees risk everything in their life.
We're seeing these effects of climate change constantly.
I've been noticing more extreme weather, stronger.
Was climate change the only reason that you decided to move?
Are we prepared for the
New
problems
zero-tolerance immigration policy, the one that's leading to
migrant children taken into custody at the southern
City and LA County officials vowed to get people off the
It's also
raging around the
representative
world.
of the complex challenges.
I think we're living in a time of many crises. We have not only the crisis of the climate, of our Mother Earth screaming out, pleading with us. We also have, I think, a crisis of community. My name is Nora Pfeiffer. I am the director of the Franciscan Justice Circles at Franciscan Action Network. So the Franciscan Action Network is a nonprofit based here in DC, but it represents, and it's a network of the Franciscan family of the United States, trying to be a Franciscan presence, bringing those Franciscan values and Franciscan voice to policies made here in DC. I came to DC really wanting to make a difference, be a part of making a difference. And the city is full of people like me. This isn't the only place, DC is not the only place where change happens. That's why we are starting Franciscan Justice Circles, to give people throughout the country a space to come together to be a part of this change. I've talked to many people who say, yes, I want to get involved. I want to do something. I want to be a part of this change. But how do I do it? I feel so isolated. And I completely understand that because I felt that way too, frankly. And so the way that we've envisioned these Franciscan Justice Circles is that we're creating a space where people can come together who may not have ever come across each other before, but who all are in, one common region, to come together and work as a team, as a group, as community, to address the issues that are calling out to them, that they feel are most important. So the idea is not that we will prescribe any topic or subject matter, but really guided by these Franciscan values, looking at what's going on around us and seeing where can I bring what I have to give to the situation to be part of this voice for change and justice.
We know that we only have a few years left before the climate change really starts to impact people in the United States. What does Marie always say? She always says that, people are still being gunned down in the streets. There are still, children in cages. If the time isn't now, we're never going to act. So we have to act now.
I think the Catholics, especially, at least some of the Catholics that we are targeting, they are not very comfortable with. They are very comfortable with helping the poor. They are very comfortable to work in a soup kitchen. They are not as comfortable thinking that it's not their job to go and talk to their representative and say to him or her, we need to change this because the people are poor and they remain poor. They never change.
And in these Franciscan Justice Circles, I think there's one component that is really essential, and that is spirituality also. And it is about action. It definitely is about advocacy.
We really elevate how advocacy is effective. There are so many, decades and decades of evidence that show advocacy works if people just get engaged. Oftentimes people think, my time is not going to yield anything. Profound and extraordinary change has happened.
I think it's important that these justice circles would provide companionship for people, provide give people a constructive outlet, but also give them support. So I'm wondering, how will we do that? How will the network support and empower individuals who might choose to join a circle?
We give people the tools to get more comfortable calling their representative, calling their senator, saying, asking the question, who is it that has the power to change this social system that we want changed? And then going ahead and doing that action.
It's interesting, by ourselves, we're pretty powerless. By ourselves, I think we've all realized through this COVID thing, that it's really hard to get anything done. And I think that what's really cool about these Franciscan Justice Circles is that you leave your individuality. You're joining a group that's going to be with you, that's going to help you advocate for the changes in all of these policies that we're talking about.
So we're planning a trip actually up to New York City. The Pioneer Justice Circle started there, and so I'm going to be going up to visit them. So I'll be seeing Kelly, Friar Julian, as well as several others. And what I'm really looking forward to is actually getting to be together and hear about all of the things that they've been doing and walk the streets that they walk, because it's great to be able to hear from them and learn about the actions that they've done, but it's another to actually be there. So I'm looking forward to going. So we're here in New York City. I just arrived on the train, and I'm looking forward to seeing Kelly and the rest of the Franciscan Justice Circle very soon. I think we're almost there. Oh, hey Kelly! So good to finally meet you in person. So good to see you. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for being here. It's my pleasure. Is the rest of the group already here?
Yeah, so I've been working in public health in the Bronx for about 11 years, and I've really come to understand the way that these policies impact local communities and the way that they contribute to health disparities in the community. And it has everything to do with the economic situation, housing, environment, food access, all of these different issues. They all sort of compound on each other and really make it difficult for people in low-income communities and the marginalized. And I think it's really important that we're able to advocate for policies, not just at the local and state level, but also at the national level, because the policies that impact people, they happen at the national level as well, and it can't just be up to the people in these local communities who are the most impacted, who are struggling day to day, to be able to change those policies. It really also has to be up to those of us who stand in solidarity with the marginalized to bring their voices forward and to help their voices be heard by their legislators.
So how can we at Franciscan Action Network help you all here in your Justice Circle to better take action? What is it that we can do to help you all?
With all the challenges we're facing right now, we don't really have the time to be casual and take our time with this effort. There's so many challenges. We need to get moving and moving quickly. So we really need to replicate these tables around the country. I'm Bob Pezzalezzi. I'm a member of the Franciscan Justice Circle of New York, and I'm a public health advocate working as a convener with the Interfaith Public Health Network. I'm not from the Roman Catholic Christian tradition. I'm a United Methodist, and I knew very little really about Franciscan spirituality before coming to the table. So I was working in public health advocacy, specifically around alcohol problems. And I had colleagues that were involved in Franciscan advocacy and Franciscan work, and they invited me to attend a meeting of the Justice Circle. And I was drawn in right away by the deep but practical spirituality of this circle, and connected them to the campaign I was working on, the Building Alcohol Ad-Free Transit campaign in New York City, which removed alcohol advertising from the New York public transit system. Franciscan members of the Justice Circle were really key in that effort, in bringing energy and spiritual leadership to our calling out the government to remove those ads from trains where young people were being exposed to alcohol advertising. The campaign had been moving along for a while, but at that point, that injection of Franciscan energy and leadership was really important. And one key member of that campaign was Father Abraham Joseph, who came in at a key time for the campaign.
I am Father Abraham Joseph. I was born and raised in Haiti, but moved to New York City in 2000. My story is I got to Haiti because I was fleeing violence actually in my country, a political situation that was terrible. And through that, I got political asylum in here in the United States. And I thought I was safe by being here. But unfortunately, I ended up being in a detention center. And then so the collaboration with good lawyers and other organizations, so we were able to fight the case and then to prove to the government that I am someone in good standing and due process should be done. And then and that's my story. And that's make me passionate about immigration issues now.
Then we're going to be in the room
I'm here to 5 to 12 tomorrow night.
Yeah, so I'll see you. Secular Franciscan.
Well, the breadline is older than you and I, so it started during the Great Depression. So the breadline is 90 years old. So during the Great Depression, they started that service where they just give a sandwich, some kind of food every morning to people who are hungry. And that has been going non-stop, never stops, no rain, so the breadline always run every morning in front of the Church of St. Francis of Assisi. So, but more and more, so the homeless population in New York City is growing, and giving them food is already good. But sometimes if we can help them connect to other services like finding good housing, or if they need health care, or if they need a social worker.
Being a Franciscan is not really a prerequisite. I would believe that anybody who understands and would like to engage in social justice advocacy should be part of the Franciscan Justice Circle. We're hoping that there will be many Franciscan Justice Circles that will be forming across the USA. Could you just imagine there will be another 50, 100 more circles, who would be advocating for the rights of migrants and refugees? I'm sure, we have strength to carry this issue.
Well, I think volunteering in general is a good thing for people to do. It's a way for them to express themselves in an area where they feel they have a particular gift or a talent or something to offer. But it's also a way for them to interact with others, like-minded people, to commit to something that they think is going to be very beneficial for society.
So we are looking for people open to being not only a part of these circles, but also leading these circles and finding others in the community who can join and be a part of these really unique spaces. And I think that if you have a heart for social justice, if you feel like something's missing in your life and what you're doing right now, and you really would like to do something a little bit more, but not alone, with others in community, then the Franciscan Justice Circle could be just that. And we need you, because we cannot do this alone. We just can't.